I get it. When you're scrolling through a sea of recliners, the biggest worry is ending up with a piece that looks great in the photo but turns out to be a disappointment after you actually sit in it. You've probably seen the glossy ads with LED strips and a sleek black leather finish, and you're wondering if the price tag really matches the everyday comfort you need for movie nights, gaming sessions, or just unwinding after a long day. That's why I'm going to walk through the real-world experience of the KswyyuwxgqI Black Leather Electric Power Lift Recliner, pointing out where it delivers, where it falls short, and who should actually consider adding it to their living room. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the concept behind this chair is straightforward: a reclining seat that can lift you up with a button press, swivel 360 degrees, and throw in a little ambient lighting for that modern vibe. It's the kind of chair you'd expect to see in a high-end home theater, but it's marketed as a daily use piece for any room. The biggest question for most buyers is whether those features actually translate into everyday convenience or if they're just gimmicks that end up gathering dust. Let's start with the power lift mechanism. The promise is that you can push a button and the chair will gently raise you to a standing position, which is a big selling point if you have mobility issues, are recovering from an injury, or simply want to avoid the strain of pushing yourself up from a low seat. In practice, the motor does lift you, but the motion is a bit slower than you might hope. It takes roughly 8 to 10 seconds to go from fully reclined to upright, and the transition feels more like a steady glide than a quick assist. For someone who needs a gentle, predictable lift, that's fine, but if you're looking for a rapid assist, say, when you're in a hurry to answer the door, that lag can feel noticeable. The lift works best when you're already seated with your weight centered, because if you're leaning heavily to one side, the chair can wobble a bit as the motor engages. The 360-degree swivel is another feature that gets a lot of hype. On paper, it means you can turn the whole seat without moving the base, which is handy when you have a multi-screen setup or want to face the TV one moment and chat with a friend the next. In my living room, the swivel works smoothly for the first few rotations, but after a half hour of continuous turning, the base starts to feel a little loose. It's not a dangerous wobble, but it does remind you that the chair isn't built for constant spinning like a bar stool. If you plan to use the swivel occasionally to angle yourself toward a window or a side table, it's more than adequate. If you envision making it the centerpiece of a game room where you'll be rotating all night, you might want to keep an eye on that wear. Now, the LED lights. They're built into the backrest and can be turned on with a simple touch sensor. The glow is subtle, a soft blue-white wash that adds a futuristic touch without being blinding. I found the lighting most useful during late-night movie sessions when the room is dark. It provides enough illumination to see the remote without turning on the main lights, which helps preserve the theater feel. The downside is that the LEDs are fixed in color and intensity. There's no dimming option or color change. If you're looking for a customizable ambience, this chair won't satisfy that desire. It's a nice aesthetic bonus, but not a core functional feature. Ergonomics are where the KswyyuwxgqI tries to stand out. The seat and backrest are padded with high-density foam, and there's an attached lumbar pillow that you can slide into place. The leather upholstery feels soft to the touch and has a respectable sheen, but it's not the buttery leather you'd get on a high-end sofa. Over a few hours, the foam holds its shape fairly well, but after extended use, say, a marathon gaming session of 6 hours, the edge of the seat can start to feel a bit firm, especially if you're a heavier user. The lumbar pillow is a practical addition. It can be repositioned to support the lower back or removed entirely if you prefer a flatter seat. In my experience, the pillow does a decent job of reducing fatigue during long sitting periods, but it's not as contoured as a dedicated ergonomic chair. One practical strength of this recliner is its full-body relaxation claim. When you press the recline button, the back tilts back while the footrest slides out, creating a near-laying position that's great for watching movies or taking a quick nap. The recline angle is adjustable in 3 steps, so you can find a middle ground between upright and fully laid back. The footrest feels sturdy, but because it's powered by the same motor that lifts the seat, you'll